Well, the Golden Easter Egg, fantastic series has been so far, and it culminates this Saturday night at Wentworth Park. A stellar field assembled, and we're about to run through each of these runners that are heading to the final on Saturday night. No one better to go through the final field and find us a winner than Simon Orchard. Hello to you, mate. Good to have you along.
Yeah, great to be here, Dan. And how exciting is this? We head to Wenty Park Saturday night for the race that everyone grows up wanting to win, the Group 1 Golden Easter Egg. $300,000 on the line, and we've got a field that has a little bit of something for everyone out there.
Doesn't it just as well? And we saw that with the semi-finals on Saturday night as well. There's so much depth anywhere you look. The market's reflective of that as well. We've seen a bit of movement since the box draw last night as well, but plenty of riches on show for everyone in this year's Golden Easter Egg final. Let's have a look at the tab market as well and see how it's shaping up for Saturday night. And Simon, no real surprise, post-box draw, good odds Cobber, $2.70, and was backed in pretty well by tab punters as well.
Yeah, as soon as Frankie Hurst pulled out box number one, he did a little jig and we all loved it because the Cobber gets the one again. How's this for a record? The Gold Bullion, he draws the red. The Tamora Cup, he gets the inside. The Bulleye Cup, he's box one. And here we are, the biggest race of the year for him. And he's got the cherry again. So he firms in, and deservedly so. Jungle Johnny and Power and Glory, they're not boxed perfectly. That's why they've got a little bit of a drift. I love the price of Gets Laid Early at $19. A Group 1 winner at Wenty Park. And she just keeps continuing to produce. She's always there or thereabouts. I think Minnie Finn's just underplaying her ability a little bit, and I think she's boxed all right. But it's a wonderful market. We're looking forward to Saturday night.
Yeah, $19. A good price to get involved in there with Gets Laid Early. Let's run into these runner by runner, but also first, let's have a look at this speed map. What have you made from the box draw? Where does Good Odds Cobber get to in your mind here?
Yeah, a lot of intrigue. Good Odds Cobber, very reliable beginner, so he's going to be punching up on the fence. This is the fly in the ointment in Gets Laid Early. She loves to get off the track just a little bit, and all of a sudden, all this speed from Lakeview Emily in 5, from Towmeter in 7, and Kisses for Gran in 8. It doesn't become redundant, but it doesn't become as much of a factor. If Gets Laid Early drifts up and holds all these out, Good Odds Cobber potentially can get the run of the race in a Group 1 final. I think that's why the punters are drawn to him. Gets Laid Early, I mentioned at that big price, I think is going to run a bold race from the inside, and it's really intriguing to see where Johnny and Power and Glory get to in particular. Not the most reliable beginners, they'll be at the back of the pack, but if they can get clear air, watch out.
And that's with Power and Glory as well. I'm interested with that speed out wide. Where does that dog get to in that run to the first turn? I think that'll be crucial as the race plays out. But let's go straight into the field, and we're going to start with the favourite for this year's Golden Easter Egg final. That is Good Odds Cobber. Talk to us about this dog. Ever reliable, ever consistent, fantastic win in the semis as well.
Yeah, he's an absolute star, if not a superstar. If he wins this race, Dan, he joins the illustrious $1 Million Earners Club. It was interesting after he won the Bulleye Cup. Frank Hurst was asked, well, what do you think of this bloke? He said, I've got another $1 million dog by the name of Good Odds Harada in the kennel, but this guy, he believes is better. Last year, they didn't dodge the egg. They went to the new sensation instead, the Group 3 race, because they thought he wasn't ready. You can say now that that has proven to be a wise decision, because in the last 6 months, he's near on unbeatable. Let's take a look at his semi-final performance. He jumps from box 8. He goes a little bit right at the start, but watch this run into the first turn. That's Flying Zulu in the black rug, a Group 1 winner on his inside. And right here, this is where either dog could win the race. The hard-nosed, tough, tenacious dog that he is, Cobber says, to hell with that. I'm going to slice to the rail, and that's the winning move. Flying Zulu to his outside. Jungle Johnny in the green rug gets 3 or 4 lengths back, and away he goes. This is him at his absolute best. High balling out in front, and he glues himself to the rail, Dan. So no dog can get on his inside. Jungle Johnny took a bit of ground off him here, but you can see Good Odds Cobber respond. He punches his way to the line, and it's a comfortable victory as he goes through to a Group 1 final.
It's a pretty easy watch. If you backed him, you knew where you were going to be there as well. But from box 8, he avoided all the trouble. Box 1, I'm interested to see what happens in the start on Saturday night. If he's a little bit jittery away with that pace from out wide, where does he end up? And that's where I think it'll be interesting for him.
Yeah, he's about a 5.46, 5.47 dog, I reckon, at his best. He can jump a little bit quicker, but he's reliable. He gets out and goes. And the most important part, he's not afraid to put his nose right out there amongst the fastest dogs in the race. So he'll be punching up. He'll be prominent into the first turn.
And that's what you need. And speaking of the box draw, last night as well, trainer Frank Hurst was asked, inside box, outside box. What would you prefer?
If I'd have said to you before the box draw tonight, what box would you have liked, what would you have told me?
1 or 8.
And which one did you get?
The 1.
It's becoming habitual, isn't it? These box ones in big finals. It's fantastic news. Dogs won from other boxes, but it's a nice little head start, isn't it?
Oh, look, there's not much between the 8 runners. So, I always think that one box anywhere is a slight advantage, but you've got to use it too, sort of thing. So, yeah, we're happy with it.
You got to be happy with that. Box 1 or 8 gets box 1. So that's the favourite good odds Cobber in the Golden Easter Egg Final. Now, Simon, on to dog number 2, Reality Best. One of the roughies in the race. Talk to us about her.
Oh, well, every race needs a roughie. And I guess for this greyhound, she's come to the care of Mark Gatt. She's had 2 runs on the track. She's had 3 trials as well. So she's experienced now at Wenty Park. She probably doesn't have the top-end speed of some of the fancies in the race. I'm not sure she can run 29.2 or 29.3, but she has improved with every effort at Wenty Park. She came up from Victoria targeting this sort of race. Mark Gatt said she's boxed really well, and with that wide runner to her outside, she could certainly figure at a pretty big price.
And had box 2 in the semis as well, so rinse and repeat from one Saturday to the next. All right, let's move on to dog at number 3, and of course we're talking about Gets Late Early here. Another one from the semis on Saturday night. Gets in pretty well here as well.
Yeah, she sure does. She's earned $300,000 for a reason, Dan. She won that Group 1 at Wenty last year. Then she went on to run in the Megastar final. She ran in the Blacktop final as well. She ran in the Country Classic over 600 and ran 4th there. So she just continues to keep on keeping on. She's a Gosford Cup winner from January as well. So the thing about her, she always runs an honest race. She's as honest as the day is long. And from box 3, I think not only will she be the fly in the ointment for a lot of dogs who are outside, but she's going to be there when the whips are cracking. So you watch her here from box 1. She can just drift off the rail ever so slightly, but she's always a prominent figure. She was jumping 540 about a year ago. She's slowed down just a patch, but watch her go here. The 3 leaders break away. She continues to chase tenaciously, and here's the winning move where she loops around them. And that 600-metre racing, Dan, the middle distance campaign out of Dubbo certainly helps as she flourishes her way to the line. Kisses for Gran. It was one of the races of semi-final night in box 8. She was kept off the track basically the whole race. Really loved the performance of Get Late Early. And
we'll talk about those other dogs as well as we get later into the preview, but a fantastic one at a bit of a price as well with tab fixed odds, so might be one to keep an eye on. We move on to greyhound number 4 now, and this is of course Jungle Johnny. And what are your thoughts here? I'm keen to get your thoughts here around Johnny. What are your thoughts?
Oh, what more can you say? Up until last week, he'd only been beaten once in 2025. That was the Group 1 National Derby final behind Paul Oswald. So he goes under the good odds Cobber, but I think he lost no admirers. He came through that Country Classic campaign where 3 hard weeks of middle distance racing. He went out to Dubbo, he got the job done. But since he's gone to Mark and Dan Gatt, it's like he's grown another leg. If he's not a superstar now, he very well could be come Saturday night. He's got great top end speed. The only chink in his armour, Dan, that first couple of steps, he's not lightning away.
And he's $4.40 at the moment in the market, so he's very well thought of. Let's hear what his trainer Mark Gatt had to say post-box draw last night.
Terrible. Dog on the inside will want to get to the outside fence, and the dog on the outside will want to get to the inside fence. So we've got to miss the start, jump on the rail, and hopefully they can meet each other and we get in on the rail behind them. We're a slow beginner, so as a rule. So, hopefully we miss the jam.
That's Jungle Johnny heading into the Golden Easter Egg Final on Saturday night. We move on. Orch, let's talk about Lakeview Emily. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, blistering early pace. She comes through the Shepparton Cup where she was so dynamic winning the Group 2 event in Victoria. And her first run in the $1 Million Chase Series last year, she absolutely had no luck. This is the real Lakeview Emily we've seen the last couple of weeks. She's a 5.35 dog to the first mark. That's going to lead nearly every race that's run at headquarters here in Sydney. The query, obviously, is the box. Where does she get to from box 5? First look, people think, oh no, the squeeze. Am I going to be wasting my money? She's a Pearl showed a couple of years ago, Dan, that you can get out and get a really good line into the first bend. She's not a crasher, but she will want to drift across as well. She's got slow beginner on the inside in Jungle Johnny. Power and Glory outside has no pace either. She's going to be prominent as they head into that first bend.
Still has to show a bit of toughness though going to that first bend. So interested to see what she can do, but she's right in the market there on the third line of betting. We move on and we speak about the semi-finals and how they were run last week, the quickest of the night, and it was taken out by Power and Glory. Very impressive performance there on Saturday.
Oh, powerful and glorious for Kenny Burnett and Connections. And that was Power and Glory at his absolute best, Dan. Flying unimpeded, and that's the key to this dog. He's been not stitched up at box draw because he's a slow beginner anyway, but he hasn't really got into any of the big finals that he's been included in. Kenny Burnett behind the boxes will be watching with interest. His first 50 metres right there, as soon as he gets to the outside in the yellow rug, that's the key to Power and Glory. He needs clear running room because he's got the biggest motor in the field. About 6 weeks ago, this guy broke the record for the fastest post-to-post ever conducted at Wenty Park. Almost ran the arms off the clock. Lakeview Emily's the dog out in front, who we said will be a key speed influence, but watch this. He just gobbles her up and makes her look like she's glued to the rail and just punches his way through the line. He's an absolute Rolls Royce, and it'd be great to see him in good air on Saturday night.
I did love how Lakeview Emily stuck to the task beautifully, though. Wasn't dropping away, so a bit of toughness there as well, but he was just an absolute standout on Saturday night. All right, we keep moving on here. What are your thoughts on Little Talmina? This is where I'm interested to see what your thoughts are on her. She's at a decent price in the market, but how have you seen her lining up here in the final?
Well, she's just the story of a greyhound that just keeps improving. We saw her come through the National Futurity back in January. She was oh so close to winning that race. Laura Keeping just pipped her in the shadows of the post, and it was interesting hearing Hayley Gilbert, the daughter of Andy Lord, during the week say that she's just got stronger and stronger. This is her race model. She needs to lead to win. If she doesn't lead, she's absolutely no hope, but she is a 5:40 dog to the peg. Watch her go out in front. I was actually surprised that she held on the way she did. She set a new PB of 29.44. I think that's about her limit at the moment, but as a betting proposition, you want to see greyhounds that are on the arm, that are highballing out in front, and if she gets clear air, she's going to run a cheeky race.
Well, that was never in doubt as well. You're sitting there watching that pretty comfortably after she started so cleanly, found the front. She wasn't getting beaten post that, so an easy enough watch. So one at a price, you're probably entertained for the punters out there. And we round out the field in box number 8, Kisses for Gran. We mentioned this dog just before, Simon.
Yeah, it was a hell of a run, probably the run of the semi-final night. She was 3 or at least 2 or 3 wide for the duration of the trip. And Jace McKay has done a wonderful job since she has joined the kennel. She's a dog, albeit on semi-final night she missed the start, she can go for your 5:30s to the first mark as well. So we've got all this speed out wide. Lakeview Emily, Talmina, Kisses for Gran, they can't all get to the rail, and that's what's going to make this race so intriguing. Box 8, not the worst place to be if you're a good beginner. You've got clear air to maybe sail around the outside. If the run hasn't busted her from last week, I think she's one to watch.
So the box isn't a massive put-off for you, is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. Connections last week said wide wouldn't be too bad. Intriguing to see. I think all the speed underneath does make it a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Well, this all culminates now with where are we going? We need to find a winner, Simon, please. Where have you landed for the Golden Easter Egg final?
I've got to go with Good Odds Cobber. He's the dog with the runs on the board. He's a dual Group 1 winner for a reason, and he's drawn the red. So Frankie Hurst, if he wins, he's going to dance his way down the Wentworth Park Straight, and I would love to see it. So Good Odds Cobber for me. Jungle Johnny needs some luck, but I still think he's the second best dog in the race. I mentioned Get Slayed earlier a couple of times. Very consistent, and courtesy of the draw, I think she's a real chance to run into the numbers. And Power and Glory, he could well be the luckless story again, but I've got him running home for 4th.
Hard to go against Good Odds Cobber, though, and I think the market reflects that. So interested to see what happens coming up on Saturday night in the Golden Easter Egg final. But it's a meeting that has plenty of depth away from just the Golden Easter Egg final. The Association Cup is another one to discuss. This is for the stayers. Again, some very nice semi-finals to dissect, Simon, but we'll have a look at the market. Overall, though, your thoughts on the final field? Have we landed with plenty of depth, as the market seems to allude to?
Well, when I came to Wenty Park last weekend, I didn't think this was the final we'd see for a Group 1 race worth $75,000, but I'm here for it. I love it.
Absolutely.
We've got some great stories. You look down the page at a dog like I'm Sally. The Cowra kid, Rebecca Edinburgh, comes to town for her first Group 1 crack. We've got poor Demetra for Wayne and Jakey White, who they admit is probably 6 weeks away from her best, but look at her down there at $61. And then you got the top end of town, the best dog in New South Wales in Late Night News, and then the interstaters in Max Capacity, Apilla and Ella's Babe. So there's something for everyone.
Widespread there, $2.60 with Max Capacity heading the betting there with Tab Punters. So we take a dive into the semi-finals from last week, and let's have a look at the first one. This is Late Night News.
Yeah, Late Night News comes out of that Country Classic campaign, and it was a pretty difficult one. Went to Gosford, then back-to-back trips to Dubbo, and if you watch the final of that race, you'll see him almost mow down Jungle Johnny, who we've already spoken about as one of the best dogs in the country. This performance was a tradesman's-like effort. You can see in the stripes just getting to the outside. That's the key to him, and I think box 6 is going to help. He wants room on the outside to move. We've heard Caroline Hughes say that he just needs a bit of clean air. He doesn't mind getting into those buffeting duels, but ultimately that's what's going to take the zap out of his legs in the final stages. This was his second 700 after that Country Classic campaign. I think he's cherry ripe. I'm not going to spoil my tips, but he's going to be very prominent.
I think you've already just about done that. Thanks, Simon. We've still got some more to go here. But fantastic win right throughout as well. And as you said, soon as gets to the outside, almost too dynamic. So it'll be interesting come the final on Saturday night. But again, post-box draw last night. Let's take a listen to the trainer, Caroline Hughes' thoughts.
I think there'll be a few crashing over to the fence early that'll go quick, and I guess if he had been inside, maybe they might have been crashing into him, I guess. So, yeah, I'm happy with out wide, yeah. It's not too far out wide, but, yeah, he'll just do his thing and get going and hopefully find that pocket that he needs to, yeah, make his run for it.
All right, let's take a look at another one of the semi-finals to have a look at. Max Capacity here, Simon. Definitely one worth talking about.
Yeah, the WA dog who's over here with Pete Lagagione and Georgia Howard, and they're going to have that thing polished up and ready to go. The beauty of Max Capacity only had 5 staying contests. One of those was the Galaxy Constellation, the Group 1 race over in Perth. The final was run that night and Ethanol Water took it out. Max Capacity went within half a length of that time. So that shows the emerging quality of this dog. He's in the yellow rug now and you can see this is where he makes his move. He's a big lumbering type, and once he got this clear air, the time of 41.91 didn't knock anyone off their chair, but I think it's what this guy is capable of in the future. So I love the way he finished the race. I just want you to keep your eye on the pink rug as well. That's Ella's Babe almost going out of picture. So as Max Capacity surges to the line, how's this run from the Brooke and Jamie Ennis trained Ella's Babe in the pink? She flies home into second spot. Here she comes now. Max Capacity, 8-length winner.
Yeah.
But Ella's Babe, maybe a big improver heading into the final.
I feel like this is teasing into your tips here. Where is your top 4? Where have you gone?
Yeah, all the dogs I've mentioned. Late Night News on top for me. I just think the value of having so many good runs at Wenty Park. Group winner here at the Track and Trip. So Late Night News on top for me. Ella's Babe, the big improver. That was her first staying effort after 4 months off the track. Max Capacity I've got to have in courtesy of the upside. And then a pillar. Big journey from South Australia, but I think a pillar can feature in the numbers too.
Definitely worth some consideration there. So 6, 3, 1 and 2, your numbers in the Association Cup. What's going to be a massive night. You're heading out there as well. You're going to be part of the broadcast with Sky, of course.
Where else would I rather be for the biggest night of greyhound racing?
And don't forget, you can catch all the action across the screens of Sky and Sky Racing Active as well. It's going to be a fantastic night of racing. Golden Easter Egg final night at Wentworth Park. If you've got nothing on, make sure you get there. It's going to be a fantastic night. Good luck with your investments, and hopefully you're seeing winning prizes on Saturday night.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.